we got you. I felt buoyed by her simple, empowering message, and it reminded me of who I was and what I knew I could do. When West Side Story was released, Aida bought out a theater in Los Angeles and filled it with Latinos, Afro-Latinos, and Black people. Everyone from our underrepresented communities was invited and included. With these acts of support, both large and small, a relationship was born with a human I am so in awe of and so inspired by. I truly can't believe I get to call Aida my friend. If she can do that for me with one simple text, just imagine what she can do for you with this memoir. Point of order. This is truly a memoir. There are surely laughs along the way. It's Aida after all. But it's not all lighthearted content. While being both direct and circuitous, straightforward and veiled, revealing and protective, she guides her reader through an unflinching look at her past, her community, and her culture. She holds the mirror up to everything and tells you what she sees with truthful enthusiasm and a form of honesty that is rare when talking about identity politics as they pertain to the individual and the community at large. The finest comedians are the ones who can share this level of transparency yet find humor in their struggles. They extract hilarity from pain. Aida is one of the finest comedians, and I personally think she's the best of us. Although Aida and I frequently texted, DM'd, and spoke on the phone, the first time I met my modern pen pal in person was when I went to see her perform in early 2022. She was the headliner at Caroline's, a historic landmark institution for comedy in New York City. I was so stoked to be able to see her in action. I brought my whole queer family with me to support her. Not only was she at the top of her game that night, but what really got me was her attention to the details. For instance, Aida made sure every performer she shared that stage with that night was Latina, which within the comedy space takes intention. The Aida you see in her comedy specials or on TV and the Aida I connected with over the phone are truly the Aida you get in person. It's a rarity, but with her, what you see is what you get. They say to never meet your heroes, but I say always meet Aida Rodriguez. In this book, Aida speaks eloquently and thoughtfully about her search for legitimacy, something I was searching for early on in life and at times still am. I've had firsthand experience with being ostracized from the communities that are wholeheartedly a part of my DNA. Remember the West Side Story casting announcement? That's just one example. And I could pontificate further, but I don't have to, because in this memoir, Aida puts pen to paper to describe the very feelings I've held around the search for legitimacy within the communities I belong to. Aida examines what it means to seek legitimacy as a woman, as a Latina, as a daughter, a mother, and simply as a human being. Much of Aida's comedy is based on race relations and on her experiences in the Latina community. But it's also universally human. She's not afraid to tackle how our communities self-police, how we judge and decide who gets to do and be what, who's accepted and who's rejected. So often, we operate from a scarcity mindset. There aren't enough roles for everyone. There's only one seat at the table for a person of color. Aida is the antithesis of that. She's wildly generous. She's on her path. She's doing the work and pursuing her dreams, and she's bringing everyone along with her. She makes difficult conversations tangible, finding common ground among us all. This book is a beautiful example of how you can acknowledge your culture and your community and take accountability for your role within it. This is not a book about blame, it's about truth. She holds herself accountable for her decisions and the narratives she's told herself about herself that aren't true. She critically examines her choices along her path as she navigates a professional world dominated by men, and mostly white men, and is honest about her successes as well as her missteps. When you blaze a challenging trail and your path through life isn't easy, it can be so simple to have a permanent chip on your shoulder and blame others for your own challenges. Aida and I connected so quickly and profoundly because we operate from a similar mindset.